Carolyn Shannon is an author, educator, and intuitive counselor, and she runs a business called Venting Creatively in Niagara Falls, Ontario. Welcome, Carolyn.
Thank you.
Carolyn, what is an intuitive counselor?
Well, I believe that we all can intuitively counsel ourselves.
Okay.
It's just that we are so busy with circumstances and people and everything that's going on in the world today that we sometimes forget how.
Okay.
I've been doing this all through my life. Once read that people pray to talk to God, and God talks back through your intuition. And I believe that with my whole heart, and I use this technique in all of my workshops. I think that what it does for me is I ask for guidance, and I ask for guidance in how to empower other people to gain clarity and understanding from the work that we are doing. And in most cases that does happen. And sometimes it takes a little longer before you get your wow moment, but eventually you get your wow moment.
Oh, very good. Yes. And sometimes those moments are life-changing.
Right.
By all means.
I've taught for 20 years, and I worked in the service industry for 10 years or more. And I found that it gave me a very good teaching, or very good experience with working with people, learning how to communicate in order to have win-win situations.
Okay.
So as well as the intuitive part, we actually use practical techniques as well.
Okay, very good. Now, I noticed on your website your main focus seems to be on children. How did you come to concentrate in that area?
Well, that actually has just changed with the creation of the Children's Journal. One of the since 1997, I have been working with adults in workshops. I've been working with young adults in the classroom, and last year, a friend of mine asked if I would do a workshop with her 2 children. And we worked together with this, and we found that it was so successful in helping them to communicate, but also teaching them this excellent tool that they can use for the rest of their lives, that it developed into the book and workshops called What Really, Really Bugs Me Sometimes. And so now I'm focusing more on the children, and I'm focusing on a school program for the schools called a 3D, or Dump the Dirt at the Door program.
Okay. What age children would be the youngest?
3 is the youngest,
Okay.
and of course from 3 till about 6 you do need parents to become involved, and that's why it's really good if the parent actually learns the technique as well, and it becomes a family event, or a weekly family, you could all call it the game of the week.
Exactly.
But it's great if the parent participates as well.
Yeah, and I think in this day and age, that's becoming such an important issue,
Yes.
Where parents are getting so busy, so wrapped up in the day-to-day part of their lives and everything. I think sometimes the children miss out on that. So I think doing these things together makes a big difference.
And I'm finding with the children, they're getting so used to instant gratification and instant knowledge that the word patience, the practice of meditation in any form is not happening as much. And this, the journaling is an act of meditation that gives them insight, but also releases the emotionality so that they can handle things a little better in life.
Okay, that's great. Now, are there other programs or workshops that you do offer?
Yes, for large groups, the most popular is called the Lighter Side of Venting. And we have 7 quick fix techniques that we use, as well as the Art from the Heart adventure. So we actually cover a wide variety of things. It's a laugh out loud, interactive, fun workshop where people just have to be involved. And it has worked well. I've involved it with a PowerPoint presentation so that it's even more fun and interactive. That's the most popular large group. The most popular adult workshop is called the Art from the Heart Adventures, and there's actually 2 types. There's one that's a day trip, and there's one that's a world cruise that is actually offered in 3 days or 5 week nights. And both of them, what they do is they help you release the negativity that you've picked up from others, or else generated with your own thoughts, because we have a tendency to do that. We release that first, and then we go on a bit of a journey and draw specific drawings that give us information about our lives.
Okay, excellent. Now you author some books. Tell us about them.
Well, the first one that was written was for adults, and this has become the teachers and parent reference guide as well, because it's called Art from the Heart Adventures, and it takes you throughout those, it actually teaches you those workshops that we do, and you can do them at home, but it also has a pull-out in-depth interpretation of the drawings that works very well with the children's book, which is what really, really bugs me sometimes.
Perfect.
And they get to draw other pictures as well, that a parent can understand a little bit where the child is at. And we do ask that the parent doesn't add their own perception to the picture or interpretation. It should really be coming from the child and letting the child say what they drew, rather than what we sometimes think they drew. And one of the examples of that is this child that was drawing joy at one of my booths actually had, and you close your eyes to do the emotionality or emotional pictures, she had a perfect little devil in her drawing. And all the adults around her started to panic, thinking that this child got joy from the devil. It became quite a moment where everybody was panicking. And so I used my intuitive counseling, and I asked, okay, what could a devil mean in joy, for joy, the emotion joy? And I asked the little girl, who do you love that calls you a little devil? And she said, my grandmother. She says, I love my grandmother.
Wonderful.
And that's what the joy meant.
Yeah.
So it's very important that we find out from the child instead of putting our own thoughts on what the drawing is.
Exactly. So do you find that parents tend to make that mistake quite often?
I think we do have a tendency to put what we have experienced out there when we're thinking of things or looking at things. So yes, I do think that can happen, and that's why it's good if the parent reads the book, or they do at least come for a workshop so they understand how to do that process.
I agree. I think that's very important. So how can people contact you to find out more or to purchase the books?
They can call me at 905-371-3818, or they can visit me or email me at artheart at vaccinewith2x's.com, or visit our website at ventingcreatively.com.
Okay, that's wonderful. Well, thank you very much for coming in today, Carolyn.
Thank you for inviting me.
Be sure to visit ventingcreatively.com to learn more, or you can find out more about Carolyn in the People in Connection directory under Coaching. Thank you for watching.